And I'll be perfectly clear, anywhere else, I wouldn't do this work.
I sold the bars and I was like, all right, well, you invented yourself before, let's do it again. I love history, I love the stories, you know?
I'm kind of living in like my fantasy right now, to be honest with you.
All of our Made It guests have been businesses like a Braxton. They brewed beer. And I start by saying, where'd you get the idea? But we have to start with a little different today because we need you each to tell us what you do.
So I've got Gallery Gumbo, Cinema, Love on 4th, and then we have Palooza Noir, which organizes the Juneteenth Block Party, and Faces, which is our Emmy-winning art exhibition, and then Fun Noir, which is a non-for-profit dedicated to providing grants to small Black businesses throughout Cincinnati. And then I teach at NKU. You must have been talking about something crazy because you stopped. So I warned them already. The goal with Gallery of Gumbo was to build almost like a small country club of inclusiveness. You know, historically growing up in my neighborhood, barbershops were like all Black. And then, you know, the guys I played baseball with, they went to all white barbershops. The conversations that took place in the shop were so incredible that I always sort of dreamt of a place where we could do it amongst individuals that come from different walks of life. The art play was just dedicated to being a mechanism to start a conversation, right? If we're standing in front of a piece of art, we're not gonna stand silent. We have to have diversity, and people use that word from a standpoint of race, ethnicity, age. What I'm talking about is concept and ideas. The truth of the matter is that this concept lives in Brooklyn 10 times over, right? But Dumbo, Williamsburg, Brooklyn, that's one of the best neighborhoods in the country. So can we. We can be that as well, right? And I think it speaks volumes to the growth of the city and growth of the town. Yeah.
Tell us how you broke out from bartending to entrepreneurship. Like, what was that spark?
Well, I don't like to be told what to do. So that is pretty much it. At the bars that I was working at, I wanted to make these classic cocktails, and I wanted to make craft cocktails. I wanted to make up my own cocktails. And some of the places like, Molly, we need you to stop talking to people and just sling these big ass beers, you know, come on. And I'm like, oh, that's just not me. They put me over in the corner and I'd be like, put my own list together. And then I'd be like, here's a special thing. And I'd tell the stories about each drink and everything. So after a while, like everybody would be at my well, drinking my drinks. So I knew I had something. And I was like, well, it looks like I should look into opening my own bar because I think I have something here. And that's kind of where it started. This place used to be a nightclub I owned called the Annex. And it was crazy. And of course, this is Japs. I used to own Japs, which was so fun. For 12 years, I spent every day in there. For 12 years, that was crazy. I'm born and raised here. I'm a 7th generation Cincinnatian, and I love our city. And my family's been here for so long. So as I learn more about my family and the connections and everybody who's been a part of our city and done things in our city, well, then I became very interested in what was here before. I just love it. I'm obsessed with it. I could look at old pictures of Cincinnati all day and never, ever get tired of it, ever.
We serve communities. We've built an ecosystem. And imagine a world where you go to your favorite barbershop to get a haircut on Friday, and on Saturday, the same guy who has the barbershop, you're drinking at one of his bars, and on Sunday, you're at a festival that this individual and his team has created. And then on Monday, with your coworkers and colleagues, you go to see some phenomenal art at the museum, all created by one mechanism. So what we've done is we've harbored a community and found additional ways to serve them. So we're community builders. I grew up a true inner city kid. I would spend most of my time on the metro with my grandmother, right? My first job was at Findlay Market. And I remember being on the metro, coming from Avondale to downtown, whether that be for church or to go to the market house or whatever the case may be. And I remember just looking out of those big windows. And at the time, taking the metro down Vine Street, you know, it was really underdeveloped, you know what I mean? But I used to dream of like having things in those establishments, right? And being a part of the culture that these big buildings, having things there, whether it be businesses, whether it be an office space, whatever the case may be. So having that now is kind of like dream fulfilled.
This city has a magic you cannot find anywhere else. For me, the history is so rich and so amazing, and you can learn so much from it. And it's like going to another place in time. Someone told me once, like, while you're on this earth, you should do your best to build a legacy for yourself, whether that's, you know, having a family and having kids, or, you know, or just doing something for your community, building some kind of legacy. It could be the smallest thing in the world, or it could be the biggest thing. You know, you could be, you know, President of the United States, or own a ginormous company like P&G. My legacy is building places where people could come together and share ideas and celebrations and, you know, every part of their life, you know, with a cocktail in their hands. But also helping to keep the stories of Cincinnati alive too, so that people can learn from them, so that future generations, you know, could learn from that. I hope that 100 years from now, there's some like crazy girl covered in tattoos and just very eccentric person who is inspired by the things I've done today and wants to do something great in the world, even if it's the smallest thing. If it's great to her, then that's what matters. So, yeah.
What you do specifically, you could both do this in Brooklyn, you could do this in DC, you could do this in Chicago. Why here?
So think about your oven and your kitchen, right? And the cities that you named, although they are absolutely wonderful, if you got your oven on and you bake this cake, it already says done, D-O-N-E. Those cities are thriving, but they don't need Molly. They don't need Rico. They don't need you guys. This town needs us.